What's up everybody? This is Shem with Heart Studios, and today we're going to be drawing one of my personal favorites, superhero anatomy. Okay, so if you have your drawing from the last video, go ahead and get it out and follow along with me. So we're going to start with the head, and just like I said before in previous videos, a good measuring tool is to divide things in half so that you can find out where the proportions are. So we're going to divide our face in half, and we're going to divide it in half again. And that's where the eyes roughly should be. Okay, and I'm gonna draw some eyebrows real quick, some furrowed eyebrows. Superheroes always need furrowed eyebrows because they're concerned with what's going on, the dangers at hand, so they always need to look concerned. So now we're gonna take and divide the line from the eyes to the chin, and we're going to divide that in half. And the nose is actually just a little bit above that line. So let's see here. That's half, and just a little bit above will be the nose. So now we're going to divide the distance from our nose to the chin in half as well. And we're going to raise it up just a little bit above half, and underneath that should be the bottom of our lower lip. Let me draw in the top lip just so this doesn't look like a smiley face. Okay. Alright, so then the ears are going to rest in between the eye line and the nose line. So go ahead and draw your ears on the side. Just a curved line should do. And let's square up this jaw. Our male superheroes need to have a square jaw so they look really masculine. If you want your superheroes to look masculine, that is. You do you. But this is what I do. Okay, and the hairline is going to, you're going to have a sideburn, and there's going to be like this triangular shape that goes in just above the eyebrow, and it's going to go back and create the hairline. Sideburn, triangle, hairline. Okay, and we'll just kind of go ahead and put a little bit of hair on here. Not super, the details, the fine details are not super crucial at this point either. It's a little more detailed than the gesture drawing, but the inking is where we'll really get into the details. Okay, so that's good enough for our purposes. And we can go ahead and draw the neckline down below the trapezius muscle. Okay, so we're going to move our paper up and continue the neck. And so the neck has this muscle in the front that attaches itself to the clavicle. Okay, so we should have our collarbone, our clavicle right here, and this frontal neck muscle, I don't know what it's called. It's going to attach itself to the middle of our collarbone here. Just like this. And it should create this little pocket. There's this little pocket from the neck muscle to the shoulder, just before the shoulder, and there's this little pocket in here of the trapezius muscle. Okay, so now we're gonna keep moving along. Now the shoulder and the pectoralis major, you should think of these muscles as being together. It's best to think of them as one complete muscle. So the shape basically looks like this. Just like that. The shoulder muscle, or the deltoid, can be broken up into 3 or 4 major groups. And so you have this group in the front. There's going to be this little crease here. And so there's this group in the front that looks like this. It's rounded when it goes up to meet that clavicle, collarbone. Something like that. It's kind of heart-shaped. So you can put, if you're looking at the side view of the shoulder, you can put 3 or 4 creases in it. And the pectoralis major, we're going to put a few muscle fibers in there just to make it look more intensely ripped. So we'll draw a straight line across, a diagonal line to the bottom, a diagonal line up towards the top. And you could probably put as many of them as you want, but I'm only going to put these few. Okay, so that's going to make our chest look more ripped. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. We may not use all of them, but it's just there just as a guide. Okay, so now the biceps. The biceps, because of their word bi, has 2 muscles. But generally, because of the flesh that covers them, you only mainly see one, but the second one is right here on the side. But we're just going to go ahead and draw the bicep like this as one for right now. Okay, it has this, it comes into this tendon here, and this wraps around it, and then there's the forearm muscle that attaches itself into the bicep and the tricep up here, and it wraps around and attaches to the top of your wrist bone, and it's like several muscles. So we're just going to draw one here, this shape, then another coming down, and this third muscle is going to come down and it attaches to the center of your hand so that it controls all of your fingers. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 forearm muscles, and 5 if you count the inner forearm. Okay, something like that. Okay, so now we have our forearms filled out. Let's go ahead and do the abdominal section. So I'm going to draw an 8-pack, and I'm just going to start with a series of curved lines, knowing that on the line, the proportion line between 3 and 4, we know that the belly button rests there. So I should have 3 ab muscles just above the belly button. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4 is going to be the abdominal muscles that go down to the waist. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so then we need a corresponding muscle or a corresponding curved line on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, and this goes like roughly center of the pec muscle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so to make these look like abs, we need to see the underside of them a little bit. So I'm going to draw this curved line to show that the ab muscle underneath is rounded up and it covers a little bit of the ab muscle above it. That's going to make it look more realistic. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to draw this curved line just like that. Oops. Okay, so there we have our abs. Now we're going to have underneath this corner of the pec muscle, you're going to have ribs showing. So I'm going to make 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's going to be our guide to draw the side abdominal muscles. So we're going to draw another curved line just like this. Here, here, and here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to draw the waist. And the pelvis bone. And it should look like that. Okay, now we have our completely ripped midsection for our superhero. So let's keep moving right along down to the thighs or the quadriceps. And by their name, they have 4 muscles. And I'm going to draw these 2 little dots that show where they attach themselves to. So you have this main center muscle that's going to attach itself right there. It's going to come down to the kneecap. So it's going to be like a football, but it's stretched out. Or an oval, whichever you prefer. It's going to look like this. And then coming off the side of that is going to be the inner muscle for the quad. And then the outer quad muscle. So the center muscle is actually 2 muscles, but you can't really tell because most people's thighs are not that defined. So it really looks like 1 muscle, but there are 2 muscles together there. And it attaches here to the knee, just like that. Okay, and of course you have this outside muscle in the hip and you have this inner thigh, but it doesn't require a whole lot of detail. Okay, so now we have our quads fleshed out. Let's keep moving down to the knee. And so the knee has this little tendon here where it hooks to that center quad muscle. So the kneecap's going to look something like this. And the side is where the 2 bones meet together. So I'm just going to kind of draw it like that. It's not going to look this detailed or pronounced in the final drawing, but I'm making it pronounced just so you can see the anatomy behind it. How here's the top femur bone and it connects here to the bone for the calf, and then the patella or the kneecap, it goes right in front. Okay. Okay, and this bone kind of wraps around that. That's why I draw that. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, moving right along to the calf muscles. So we have this bone that comes in here like this, and you have this calf muscle that kind of wraps around the front right here like this. And then you have two muscles on the side. So much like the forearm, you have the inner forearm, you have the inner calf, and then you have 1, 2, 3 forearm looking muscles on the outside. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, so there you have it. There is a detailed look at all of the muscles, a detailed look at anatomy, so that when we throw the shadows on and the shading, you're gonna know exactly where to put them, because you will know the creases and the lines of the muscles and where the shadows are going to wrap around them. That's enough for this video. We will talk about light sources and shadows and shading in the next one, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned a lot. And if you did, definitely mash that like and subscribe button, as well as the bell, so you can be notified as soon as my next awesome video comes out. Peace.